What's up, Afterbuzzers? We are back for episode 9. Listen, it is the end of the line. This is actually the last episode before the tell-alls, and we can't wait for that, but we're super excited. Now, tonight's show was full of ultimatums from David and Annie, Nicole and Azan. The list goes on, but we've got you covered with the latest news and gossip, plus our special segment, What Do You Think? The show starts now. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, Afterbuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Keith, you wanted to go clubbing. Here you
go.
Okay.
Stacey, you always have like the best playlist.
Woo.
She knows all the music.
It's a party in my car.
It's a party. It's a party here. The gang's all here, reunited, and it feels so good.
It does.
Super excited to be back.
Yeah.
I'm Keith Andre.
I'm Linda Antwi. Hi, guys.
I'm Alex Bauer.
Hey, guys, I'm Stacey Olives.
Yes, me and Stacey had to hold it down, so we're super excited.
You guys did great holding down the fort.
Yeah, thank you.
But we're all back.
Yes.
We
so
are
happy.
all back. Episode 9. Did you guys jump right back into it? What are your thoughts?
Well,
okay.
fake.
Alex
I get some fake vibes.
What did
I'm just gonna say that. And
Chantel's mom said, muy malo. Muy
my God.
malo.
Oh, like, isn't it mal?
Yes. I
Like
think.
mallow? Even I knew that.
I hate it.
Mal.
I hated the Spanish
Loca.
talk.
That's what she would say. That's funny.
I didn't like that she thought she had to talk slower
Oh, she did.
in English. Like, I was like, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
There were so many things that went on. I'm just glad that we got to see the fight 2 more times.
Oh my God.
Listen.
Yeah. That was the
Fight.
The fight.
I saw it from so many
So
different
good.
angles. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. We'll jump into our couples breakdown. This week we started with none other than Pedro and Chantel. So in seeing the fight again, I was like, okay, I don't know. I felt like River got some hits in.
Yeah, he did.
He connected.
He connected before he fell.
He did.
Before is Nicole, right? The sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Before Nicole kind of took him down, she kind of did do her part.
Yeah, she was trying to get in.
Before
Biting
she
it off.
grabbed him, he did get a shot in, a couple.
Yeah, he definitely connected. So I don't know, I couldn't decide how I felt about Chantel being so upset with Pedro and just placing all the blame there, like, you attacked my brother. Like, he was definitely instigating the situation. There was a lot of bleeping, but we know what slur he was saying. You know what I mean?
He got up first. And if you're at someone's house, like if Chantel was at his place and she had gotten up like that and to Nicole, he would have been pissed. Like, you started the whole thing.
Yeah, but I'll just say that I felt like Pedro got up in response to
he was ready.
River.
He
River was
ready.
calling him all those names that was bleeped out. Then he threw the chandelier.
But
The
wasn't
light,
that response?
IKEA light.
Because he said, what did he say at first? He just got up and said, "What do you say?" So he had already called him
Yeah.
the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he hit the IKEA light.
Was it worth getting physical?
Maybe not, because he definitely got hit. He got his jaw
Hey,
rocked a little
River
bit.
hit him in the head. I watched that.
Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
that. And I
He
was
got
like,
him.
damn.
He got him.
What do you think, Linda?
I think River started a fight. I think River instigated this
Yes.
fight, and he knew that he was just going to continue to pick at him, and Pedro was going to respond because he's at his wit's end already. So
Agreed.
He's the one that was like you said, he was doing slurs to him the whole time, and the guy's supposed to sit at the table and just take it.
Right.
But it was a quick turnaround.
What was
Like,
the turnaround?
they were chill. It was just like, you knew that they were about to talk about stuff that he didn't really want to talk about, and then River said one thing, and then
No,
it just
River
blew up.
River was like picking
poking
at
the
him.
bear.
I didn't feel
He was
that.
poking the bear, like talking shit. Oops. To him. And then all of a sudden, he got up because he was like, "You're not going to talk to me that way."
Yeah, it was definitely a battle of the men type of situation. But aside from that, I just felt that everything got so dramatic with them. Like, even we were just talking about the mom talking in Spanish. I'm like, they're already gone, so who is she talking in Spanish to? Maybe
Right.
somebody on the production team is speaking Spanish.
Yeah,
But
With
what's
her
the-
extensions.
She was talking to the camera. Yeah, she
to
kept
the
saying,
camera.
"Muy malo."
And then Chantel was like crying, and when they saw River, it was like, hold my earrings,
God,
and we're gonna do
Chantel.
this. And I was like, okay,
That was really funny.
give me a
Chantel.
break.
Like, she's like, Like, it was that dramatic.
Yeah,
It was
she was
actually
super
really
dramatic
funny.
about it.
One thing I do want to say, though, I really did not appreciate Pedro kicking all the food off the table.
That
I
was
thought
messed
that was
up.
just
He needed to
overboard.
find a way to like get a licking because he wasn't able to do
Yeah.
anything.
But then again, this is what happens. Chantel, you involve your family, you tell them everything,
Yeah.
you don't fix your problems yourself, and then look.
And I think Pedro
it's
did a
chaos.
good job of trying to express that to her as well. I thought it was crazy that River refused to speak with her for like a couple of weeks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was ignoring her husband. And I just was like, I don't know if I feel that's appropriate or not.
Right, it's immature.
Yeah.
It's immature of her. I mean, that's your husband. That's not like your boyfriend. That's your husband. That you said you
Exactly.
was for good or for bad.
And
So
if
you had
you-
a bad moment. So then why don't you try to fix that bad
Yes.
moment?
Agreed. And I want to know if Nicole was mad at her brother, if that's why she really went home super quick, because we didn't see her again after the fight. He had just said she went home, but when she was walking out, when they were walking out, she kept saying, "Why did you hit him, Junior?
Yeah, why did you
hit
attack him?
Yeah.
That's true.
So I'm wondering, like, was she just upset with him that he's like it got physical, or?
I think she's kind of scared of Pedro. I think she's kind of like, he's gonna like.
I mean,
I don't know. I feel like she's kind of scared of him. So it's like, I don't want my family to get involved because I have so many issues with this guy, but I'm going to run to them. And then when he does something, like, it's my fault. Like, she kept saying it. She's like, I feel like it's my fault. If you guys
Chantel?
remember, Chantel, yeah. When
yeah.
she came back.
I think that, I appreciated Pedro getting Nicole out of there, because I thought that was an appropriate response to the situation. We had this big fight. We already had issues around you coming. And so for his next move to be like, I'm getting her a flight, she's going like, this trip is canceled. It's over.
Do you know what I think? And
What?
it's probably pretty petty, but I was looking at it and can you imagine being on national TV and then you have like a weave in your head and all of a sudden the weave's no longer in your head?
Right.
I mean, those
She
had to
jetted
be-
quick.
She kept
That's probably
lifting
why.
I would be on the first flight home too.
Yeah.
Because what do you
True.
say after that?
I mean, those had to be the worst pair of clippings
Ever.
ever made. Homemade.
It was kind of immature for her to just keep holding them up.
She
like,
was
this girl
proud.
is probably a third of your age.
Yeah, I think for their family, it was a bunch
So
of
true.
immaturity. I don't have too much else to say about them. Did you guys have any other comments on
Not
their
really.
dynamic or family?
It's just
No.
drama.
Yeah, I've got
crazy
some
chaos.
questions for the what do you think, but other than that, I'm done with them.
Yeah.
Okay, another couple I am ready to be done with, but I feel like we'll never be able to be done with, Nicole and Azan. So we're back in Morocco, and she has to tell her mom, right, that she's postponing the wedding. I was interested for a couple of reasons. I was interested in finding out that they were like adhering to culture, and his family was paying for the
Yeah.
wedding, like $6,000. I was like, oh, okay, so in a way he's pulling his weight. We know he don't work.
Yeah.
He's not sending her any money, but he's gonna dish out all this money for like a dream wedding. So I was excited about that. I'm still on the fence about the whole paperwork like slipping through the cracks and not knowing that you don't have the correct police report. And everybody was telling Nicole that. His mom, her dad. So
And does it really take that long for you to get the paperwork back into your country, like into the country she's at? Like a whole month? For
Yeah,
just
for
a
the dad
paper?
to send it, right? The dad had to
It
send it
shouldn't
over.
take that long. Just
I
have
don't
me
know.
on the
I
next
think
day.
she could just be given that time because, I mean, I see it. There is a need to postpone the wedding instead of trying to say 2 days, 2 weeks. Maybe a month and a half is enough time to know for sure that it's going to happen. But I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't think she needs a month and a half, but I do think that she's having some second thoughts.
Yes.
And I'm
finding out-
glad.
she's finding out.
Finally.
You think? I don't get that.
No, she
Still-
said it. You know, right after, it was a little later in their conversation because at first she was saying everybody around her is talking about maybe it's a sign. And then after he had the conversation with the mom and he came clean, she's like, well, maybe it is a sign.
Yeah, and did you see Azan's face when he they were like kind of telling the mom about how the paperwork didn't make? He was like pretty relieved. You can tell he was happy about it.
Yeah.
Think so?
I think so.
He
I
made
never-
a statement, kind of like, well,
Yeah.
you know, I guess it's just not
Not
time
meant to
yet.
be.
It's
Not
not
time.
meant to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
did say that.
Yeah.
I'm never too sure with Azan, to tell you the truth. What did you guys think of the conversation that he had with her mother, though?
It was really awkward and forced. I think on the mom's part.
Yeah,
for
she
me.
definitely had every intention of like finding out
Yeah.
and getting answers and getting
Yeah.
to the bottom of
I
it.
like that he didn't lie to her. Like he pretty much like opened up and was honest with her.
But how
Yeah.
much do you really want to know as a mom about what's going on in your child's relationship?
True enough, but your daughter's also marrying a foreigner who has never worked for the past 2 years.
True.
And supported you financially or supported him financially. She wants to get down to the bottom of it because I'm sure some of that money was her money that was going over to him, you know?
Absolutely.
And I think that even though he was honest with her, I think that he held back, and I think that there's still like more.
Still holding
a
back.
lot more.
I mean, I'm
coming
sure
up.
he's given like the G-rated version, even the conversation that he had with Nicole. But I did want to take a step back because when they were together and they had to talk about postponing the wedding, I was just so over Nicole. Like, I get that you're speaking in a different language, but you're still having a conversation in front of these people. Like, what are you doing? And then she's like, you tell them. And I was like, come on.
Just
grow
speak
up.
and he'll interpret.
And that's what he wanted to do. They need to hear something from you
you.
because honestly, this was your error.
Yes, she needed to apologize. Like,
She was really acting immature.
But
And
the thing is, she never wants to take responsibility for the things that she doesn't do right. Because she doesn't do a lot of things right either.
Absolutely.
But she always downplays it.
Yeah.
No, you apologize for both of us.
Yeah.
Right.
you know,
like,
girl,
I really don't trust you, but he shouldn't trust you either because we didn't forget.
Exactly.
We did not forget.
Because if you see the show, like watching the show, it looks like you feel more bad for Nicole than Azan, but she's done the same crap to him. So what do you?
They
And
definitely
she's
have
trying to
had
play innocent.
similar
Does
experiences.
the moms have anything to say about that? Because she had a lot to say about Azan and what he had done, but your daughter has done the same thing. No,
Of
more.
course
Your daughter
not.
got physical.
Yeah, I mean, of course you're
Allegedly.
going to side with your child, I guess. It was unfortunate to have to see Nicole, you know, experience the heartache or the pain that comes with finding out your significant other is like riding around and getting it, talking and texting everybody, especially the part about the first 2 weeks when he asked to marry her and he was still texting and talking to other girls. I was like, okay, that's gross.
And his reason why is because he's like, I didn't know if you were really going to move here or we're going to move or
Then
whatever.
why
That was all going to work out.
ask?
Right.
True.
Why ask to begin with?
Do you think he's done this to multiple people?
Well, did you guys remember when he said, well, I can't remember where the girl was from, but she was like, there's a girl from Morocco, there was another girl from the US, and there was another place that he mentioned. So this is what he does. He like goes for the foreign girls and whoever's gonna bite, because that's what he said he was doing. He was weighing all his options, and whoever bites, that's who he goes with.
Yeah, this is definitely his thing. I will say, honestly, you guys, I did appreciate him coming forward and telling what he did. It did make me feel like, okay, maybe he's okay with this happening, and maybe this means that he's gonna go through with it or he wants to marry her. But I mean, I just don't know. There was so much drama with them and the conversations around the infidelity. It's like, y'all are in a long distance relationship. Maybe we need to reset some expectations.
Right.
Both of y'all cheaters.
Right.
Yeah. So
And liars.
maybe they belong together.
For real.
Yeah.
And you guys barely spend time together. Like, maybe your relationship works the best when you're apart.
Exactly. And sometimes that happens for some people.
Yeah.
If it works for you, girl, do what you have to.
Go see your dude once a year.
Yeah.
And just to know you have someone there.
Right,
Is that what's-
right.
To call
people need.
yours, like
Yeah.
that level of companionship, I'm with it because I'm not getting any younger.
But all this
You want your
who
own
knows?
90 day?
No, I don't, but I gotta get married by 36 or I might be in a situation.
It may be a
you just give
situation.
up.
Yes. Okay, anyways. Anything else on Nicole and Azan?
I just want to say that I'm like really, I feel bad for May in this situation. I know like
my God.
we're like May's taken care of, you know, she's good or whatever, but at the same time, you're basing like her life off of this one guy. So for me to see her put May in this position and like, you know, we saw her get rid of her toys a few episodes ago, it just like makes me really feel uneasy.
Yeah, she's always a bit of collateral damage. And I think ultimately that's what happens with children in relationships, whether it's separation, divorce. They're always going to be impacted by your decision. So, I mean, of course, you only can do the best that you can do with circumstances, but you need to make better decisions. And we'll talk more about that when we get down to Molly, because we saw a lot of her and her girls.
Yes.
But for now, let's go to a relationship that's... All of my favorite relationships are like on the fritz.
Yeah.
So, David and Annie.
This is your favorite? This is one of your favorites?
Not really, but they're on the fritz. I do like Annie. I do like Annie.
I like Annie.
I like Annie too.
I like Annie a lot, but so, you know,
He was
we...
cussing a lot this episode. Did you notice that?
Annie?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
pissed.
She's
Heated.
snappy.
I was shocked. I was like, oh, she's really going
She's
for it.
really I mean, she has every right to be angry. So they're getting ready to move from the firehouse to the storage
unit. Yep.
And I'm just like in shock, you guys. Like, what's going? They're literally like packing up luggages and bags. And so Annie has that conversation around, you know, she really asserts herself like, I'm ready to go back to Thailand. This is what I want. As soon as he starts to cry,
that killed me. He knew.
He knows how to manipulate her.
Yeah, and he said, "Oh, come on, bring on the fireworks. Come on, let's go, let's cry." And then it worked.
He knows
like
what to do, and she just fell right into it. Like, now I feel like I'm so over their relationship.
Listen, she's being a sucker because this guy does not want to work. You know, when he went and talked to his sister and the whole dinner thing was about getting money from her, I was so proud of her to say, hey, you know what? No, this is enabling you. And everyone's enabled you. All your relationships, you're like, borrow, borrow, borrow. And even Annie's like, I'm sick of you saying always borrow, borrow, borrow. Like, just get a job anywhere.
Yes.
And then Chris is like, here, you can work at this storage unit in lieu of rent, and he thinks he's too good for that $10 an hour job. He said, well, listen, $10 is better than $0.
Exactly.
With is what you have.
Yeah.
Right.
Minus
And
because you
see
owe
that,
everyone.
You know, he thought that he was too good for it, but we see how those cards played out. They moved into that storage. He got up and was like, I have to go to work now. And I just felt like so, I don't want to say disgusted by it, but it was just like, what are we doing here? You know, why are we choosing to live in a way that we don't really have to? I don't have to be with you.
Yeah.
Right.
And Annie, like, you've been bamboozled. Everything that he promised her back in Thailand, like, clearly you should have had some red flags when he couldn't pay your dowry.
He should have.
Right.
He just talks a big game. I think it's like pure selfishness.
Yeah.
Like he's able to just tell her like, I'm going to do this for you. We're going to live a great life.
Yeah.
And then with actions, it's just like totally opposite. Yeah. So it's like, and she's young. So she's probably like.
But it's also getting to the point for me where I'm like, okay, Annie, we
Step
told
up.
you enough. You've seen enough. You started to put your foot down. So now you have to start taking accountability for the decisions that you're making and the decision that you're allowing him to make with your life.
And I think this is his whole life. Everyone's enabled him. He always has someone to like enable him.
Yeah.
So right now it's Annie who's next.
I mean, I just couldn't believe at one point where she's like, I want to die. I was
oh
like,
my God.
She said that.
like she's so depressed. She's always crying. And in the day and age that we live in, I mean, depression is a huge factor for so many people, whether you know it or whether you don't. Like, mental health and stability is such a thing. And so my heart goes out for her because I can't imagine being an immigrant coming from another country and just feeling so alone and defeated and like depressed. You're not living the life that you want.
And the only thing she's holding on to is the hope of having a kid. And come on.
The likeliness.
Even that, she's like set back a bit because he had the vasectomy, so he has to have money to reverse that and then see if that even works.
But she didn't act like she was nervous about it or anything when she was when the sister was warning her, like, hold on, he can't even, did he tell you about the vasectomy? Did he?
Right.
She kind of got offended. And I was just like, you already know the truth, Annie.
Because she still has that little hope for his potential.
Yeah.
And it's actually a lot of hope. I mean, there's a little piece, but it's like faith the size of a mustard seed is all you need to like go on your vision. And she has that, and that's what she's sticking to.
Yeah.
So
She must really love him.
well, that's a question.
Yeah.
We of course will ask. So next up on our list, before we move forward, I mean, there's always so much drama with 90 Day Fiancé. It's a reality show. Afterbuzz is doing the thing. Give us some of that Afterbuzz news.
Yes. Hey, AfterBuzzers. Our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows, as you already know. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there's no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz grow. Yes. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. Yeah, I know, those are annoying. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel, and check out our Afterbuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know that you did in comments, and we'll thank you. And right now, we'll thank Donna Clark and Mina M. Yes. We see y'all. We read y'all's comments. Thank you for being real. And thanks for just being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN talk of TV.
Yes. I mean, it's so rewarding. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I be on the YouTube.
Me too.
And I love it.
Yeah.
It'll be like recommend. I'll be like, hold on, dramas. Oh, okay.
Great comments,
I'll do that too.
great theories. You know, they give us feedback on what we say and how they feel about what we say. I love it.
Non-scripted interviews. I love it.
It's
Love
so
it.
much fun and so much engagement. You can always head over to iTunes, like us there, and give us those 5 stars.
Yes.
5 stars.
You know who I won't be giving 5 stars to?
Who?
Anfisa and Jorge.
I'm so over this couple.
I'm so like
The mini
so
David,
sick of them.
baby David.
Perfect. Baby David is perfect. What?
I'm just waiting for you to jump in because I really do have something to get off my chest.
Okay, well, go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead.
I mean,
Go
Anfisa
ahead.
and Jorge, my biggest thing was deny. That's the story of George's life. Lie after lie. So we got to see a little bit of them, not too much, but the bulk of, you know, their story this week was surrounded around trying to figure out if this 10-year-old baby is his or not. We heard the phone conversation with the ex-girlfriend. I'm just like, whoa, this is getting like escalating really quickly. I don't know what's going to come about. And then at the end of their story, we see we're still left in the fence with like production reaching out and nobody knows.
My problem with the whole situation for them was Anfisa's reaction to the girlfriend. George calling the girlfriend. You're mad about him not taking up for you when the real problem was him lying, or it seemed like he was lying. He wouldn't even admit that he bought the girl
Anything.
Clothes,
until he got in his solo interview.
Yeah.
You bought her clothes. You said that she was your daughter before. I'm sure that lady was not lying. It seemed she was being genuine.
Yeah,
in my eyes.
she was hurt.
And he was just like, no, like, Anfisa, you know he's lying. It's more important to figure out why he's lying and what he's lying about than it is to say, like, he's not taking care of me. You should have called her out of her name and said, leave me alone.
I mean, I was so disappointed with Anfisa because she's been such like an I don't know, like an anchor of like maturity and like how to handle a relationship. And it's like she was not that at all. I almost felt that he should have just had that conversation honestly with his ex one-on-one on his own without including her. I applauded him for doing so because he needed to do that for his marriage. But at the same time, she was just there trying to like egg him on and like tell him what to say and all. Like you don't really need to be involved at this point if we don't know if the kid is yours.
And I think with like Anfisa, she's all talk. Like she'll say like, oh, this is not right. This is not what I want, blah, blah. But if it's not right for you, then why aren't you acting on it? Why aren't you leaving him? Why are you keep giving him second chance, third chances, fourth chances? Like, it's like the guy, this is who George is. He's selfish. Like he abandons his, I think it's his kid.
I do too.
Okay.
Like, why haven't you been taking the test, the DNA test, if she told you, she asked you, and now all of a sudden because Anfisa has you on the phone right in front of her, it's, oh, I'll do it.
It could be something
let me
that he
scramble for
doesn't want
lies.
to deal with.
He looks like a crazy person on TV with the amount of lies that he has.
Yeah.
And I think that just in Anfisa's defense, I think that she's sick of it. Do you know when you're like in something, and the person just keeps doing the same thing, you can tend to shut down. I think that's what she's doing. I think she knows that her husband's a liar, and I think she's just waiting it out to see how it's going to play out before she leaves. Because you guys remember, she went and saw that counselor, and she's like scared because she sees how he's very vindictive, and she still had to recover from all the stuff that he, like, she always mentions the tell-all because he just lied and like slandered her name, and then
For the most part.
for the most part
Right
for the most part. So I think that she doesn't want that. I think that being trolled online and being like the bad person online, no one really wants to be bullied like that. And I think that she suffered a lot from all the things that he said that were not true.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
so
fine
true.
with her not wanting to be in it if you don't get out. But you know what, Anfisa, girl, honestly, at this rate, you might as well stay because the way it's looking, he may be out of the picture.
Real talk.
He might be in jail.
Real
soon.
talk.
I mean, so
Real
we talked
talk.
about weeks ago finding out and learning that in like February the drug charges came up about like distributing the weed or whatever that was, and so we see at the end of this
And it's
show,
a felony charge.
I know
That's not a
Damn.
joke. That is not
any-
a joke.
That's
So do you
nothing
think
to
she'd
play
stay
with.
with him even if he's in jail?
I
Hell
would.
no.
I would.
I'm gonna be living my life and you're in jail. I don't care.
I don't think she will.
This is my thing with
What does
Ann.
she gain?
Well,
That's a spinoff right there.
It is. So here's my logic
money?
behind it.
90 days behind bars.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
Listen, so I'm thinking for Anfisa, the best position to put herself in. I'm still married with him. I still got my green card. She's in school. She's doing all these things. So I'm unaffected by it. What do I lose by staying married to him and not dealing with him?
Being single?
Yeah, but is single a viable option for me as like an immigrant to this country, as like on a visa?
Like, get your green card, then move on.
Especially with the financial responsibility factor.
I think she already has her green card because she's already in school and she already has like her car and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think she already has her green card. And I think that as an immigrant, if she just part of the whole K1 thing, if she divorces him, like say he goes to jail and she divorces him, he's still financially responsible for 10 years, but she has nothing to lose. So
yeah,
even
but
if she
what happens with him? He has no financial stability. If he goes to jail, that's it.
Right.
We're paying for you to live in jail.
Right.
So what position does that put her in?
But that's what I'm saying. She doesn't lose anything by divorcing him.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Are we ready to move on?
She needs to be single.
She does.
She does live her best life in LA.
She can do it. She definitely can do it. Somebody else who's decided to be single is Miss Molly.
I'm happy for her.
We need to have a party.
really am.
I mean, it feels like
confetti.
it came with so much and at such a cost. So I was happy, like I said, to see her with her girls going like to the skating ring and trying to rebuild her relationship with Olivia now that Luis is gone. He's been gone for like a month. At first he wasn't signing the divorce papers, and then we find out like a month later he signed, she signed. So she's ready to completely wash her hands. She's divorced from him. But I just don't know what impact this is really going to have on her future. As far as her children, primarily, we see her a lot on social media living her best life, but I don't know like what condition it leaves like her ego or her heart.
A divorce is a divorce. That's probably so hard.
And it's not her first divorce. Was she married before or just engaged to Kinsley's father?
I think it was engaged.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think she's ever. Yeah, she's never been.
Okay.
Because that was the whole thing. Like she was like in her 40s and she wanted to get married.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was like her she wanted to have a big dream wedding.
Yeah.
I just feel badly for her. Molly was somebody who you guys know I was rooting for. I really appreciate Molly. I like her a lot. This episode, I just felt that we saw ultimatum after ultimatum, and nobody's making these decisions.
Right. I love, though, that she did make the big decision and left.
Absolutely.
Like, she had the
Kudos to
strength
her.
to do that. That's hard. All these other women aren't able to do it.
Yeah.
And she's like, nope, get out of my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to
love
see
that.
her at the tell-all.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yes.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about predictions in a minute. Last couple who was my favorite. I did not need to see them tonight. I don't really need to see them anymore.
Heartbreak.
Paul and Russ, who I love. Let me be clear, you guys, because I really appreciate this couple, but they came off as fake to me, or just trying to find a story. Like, is this a real argument that we're having?
Keith.
Are we
Thank
serious
you,
about
Keith.
this?
Thank you, Keith. Yes, fake. Fake. It was a forced argument. There was really no substance within this argument. It was just, you don't talk to me. You talk to whoever her friend's name is, and you don't love me. You don't care about me. And it was just, the whole thing was forced.
It was. I thought that they both had legitimate concerns.
Yeah.
He feels that she's different. She feels that he's different. I don't know why she feels that he's different, but I can understand him seeing a difference in her. I thought that it's an honest, transparent display to see somebody come off of being right back home in their country with their family and then having to readjust to living without them. But the argument just kept going on about not being asked about feelings and dealing with loss, and I just was like, okay guys, what are we doing
I
here?
think it was legit.
You
I
do?
disagree with you. Yeah, I think it was legit. I think it's really, culturally, I can understand her, kind of. I mean, she's Colombian, but from the culture-wise, he didn't really, validate her. She went through a miscarriage. She lost her grandma.
Yeah.
She's probably super close to her family, used to being close to her family. She comes over to America. He's gone all the time. What is she's probably lonely and no one's there. And how she was saying, my friends are the ones that are listening to me. And I
they're your
understood where
friends.
she's coming from, though.
Yeah,
Because
for
there's probably a huge culture shock. She's probably used to being around a lot of people, always going to parties, always being very social. And I feel like she came over here and it's
I'm not going to give her too many more cultural passes just because she's been in America for a while and they've been married. And so she's been used to living with just her husband. I agree. You know, her concerns are valid, but they too were a couple that I felt was built on like this beacon of communication. And we got to see their communication completely like fall apart. I was shocked that she's even in a position where when it comes out, you're complaining that he's not asking you how you feel instead of just coming out and saying, hey, we need to talk about this because I'm super duper affected by it. I don't know why you're not talking about it or how you feel, but for something as big as a miscarriage, both parties do have to go through that. Granted, a man is never going to know how a woman feels to go through it, but I think being married, that's something that he may not know how to address, but he's still going to have feelings around dealing with the loss of his child as well. So I would just have liked to see them communicate better than just having an argument that's going on for 5 minutes about
it was the longest argument.
So my take on it was, I agree with you. I felt it was super contrived. And my concern is, like, she doesn't have a problem vocalizing to everyone else, her best friend and her friend here and her mom, vocalizing her feelings of loss and her feelings of what she's going through. So why can't you have that communication with your husband?
Exactly.
Because you and your husband lived in Colombia before you came over to the U.S. So he knows how you are and you know how he is. So why all of a sudden is it an issue?
Yeah.
Like, if he never texts you every day before when you had problems, he's not all of a sudden going to start texting you every day like your friend does for like inspiration and keep your head up. You know your husband.
Yeah.
If your husband's not like that, he's not going to change and be like that. And you know how you are. If you are a communicator, which she seems to be,
absolutely,
then communicate to your husband, hey, listen, it bothers me. I'm feeling sad and I'm going through a lot and I need you to support me. And here's what I need you to do. Because he seems like the type of person that
he'll do it.
Yeah, and you say what you need and he'll do it. He'll back you up.
He's always made an effort to do so.
For real.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, tonight I was so and on one hand I was glad that we like are coming to an end of all this drama. Just get me to the tell all, because that's where it's like, let's get down to the nitty and the gritty.
This is gonna be good.
So
Have you
I
seen the preview of the
Yes.
tell all?
Yes.
It looks crazy.
I'm excited.
Crazy good.
We can talk about the preview in a moment, but first, let's get into our special segment. What do you think? We've got our...
Woo!
What do we call these? I always call them fans.
I just call them our
face
our face signs or something.
Well, our signs. So, of course, you guys, each and every week we watch the episode, and I always have some questions on some of the couples. We'll go through and we'll respond with a yes, no, or maybe. And it's rapid fire, but sometimes we need to know the why behind the decision. Okay, 1. Should Annie stay with David? I said no.
What do you say?
said no.
I say absolutely not.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna agree with you. No.
Perfect.
I saw him. Well, you know what? I was kind of like, maybe because he is working now.
Bye.
Anyway, number 2, was George too nice to his ex on the phone?
Too nice?
Because
No.
Anfisa thought he was too nice. Do you guys think? I said no.
He wasn't nice enough. He needs to go send some money. She should get him for child
That's a
support.
really weird question to
It is
answer
weird.
for me.
I'm gonna say no, but I feel like he was familiar. More,
Okay.
less than like, I haven't talked to you in 10 years. Like, y'all have talked recently.
Yeah,
Right.
Like a nervous
I know
type
your
of...
voice.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some familiarity. But why is it a?
He tried to
on
play
the
it off like,
question?
is this, you know her voice. You know
Why?
her.
Why did you say it was a difficult question for you?
I really don't know. It's just like
It's
weird.
just-
Like, I just feel like he wasn't mean. He wasn't nice. It's just a conversation.
Okay, I'll take that. Next up, should Chantel be ignoring Pedro's texts and phone calls? No. It's like every
say
answer's
no.
gonna be a no.
No.
No, you're married. We talked about that a bit.
Yeah.
You're not married to your family. You're married to him.
It's a no for me.
Okay. Should Olivia, Molly's daughter, go home?
Yes.
Yes, I'm yes 100%.
Yes.
Why maybe, Linda?
I think that Molly's made the right first steps, but I think that Molly needs to address why she does this and then not do it again. So make sure, like she said, like her daughter said, make sure that we're on the same page and want the same things.
I'll take it. Anything to add, Stacey?
I
Did you
think
get
Olivia's
maybe?
been through some similar stuff like this before, so she's kind of like, who's
Oh, great.
next?
Because she has a
kind
lot
of
of
thing.
say so.
Yeah.
I'm like, at
And
18,
so-
my mom would say, get home right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or it's me and
but
you.
she is getting to an age where you deal with kind of that sort of situations where you can make a stand and choose how you want to live your life. And then the last question I'll ask, because a couple already got answered in our conversation, we did see Pedro and Chantel talking about he's going to take a vacation to the Dominican. Is space the best thing for their relationship? I said maybe.
I say yes.
No.
Okay, so real quick, I say maybe because I don't know. They can't seem to figure out what's going to work best. Maybe space is something that we should try.
Yeah.
I think he actually had a good idea of moving a little bit further from the parent. Well, he wants to move far away from the parents, but moving further.
I think that if they're gonna do the move, then he needs to like calm down with the family stuff too on his end too.
Absolutely.
You can't say get away from your family and you don't get away from your own.
True that.
Fair enough. Okay, well, we definitely want to know what you guys think. You can let us know in the YouTube comments. You can send emojis or hit us on Twitter, all that jazz. Without further ado, let's get into news and gossip.
Yes.
I said without... Okay.
He said without.
I mean, news and gossip is always one of my favorite parts. So we'll start with Nicole and Azan.
Nicole and Azan, so I'm thinking they're still together, guys. And we have a little secret that we want to share with you next week about the couple. And I don't know if it's released yet, but something fun about the couple that's going to come up soon.
We've got some great surprises.
So
Stacey has been doing her due diligence, y'all. And I'm ready to
Guys,
scream.
we have so many surprises
I
next
cannot
week.
keep a secret, but I'm going to try to. So we had just a couple pictures that were grabbed. We see Nicole and
So
Azan
they are together still.
smiling.
Married? We don't know.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
You can scroll through, I know, a couple of just fun pictures. And then this she had to post.
Yeah, so she was posting that, sorry to everyone who asked the question. I got busy and basically forgot. She, on her stories on Instagram, was basically like, ask me anything and I'll answer it. But what was interesting is she didn't, and she says, most are about the show, things that I'm, and the show's still going on. So thanks to everyone who asked questions. I'll show more about it in time.
Yeah. She can't talk too much. She's always giving us these hidden things on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, next up.
Teasing us
So
left
when
and
she
right.
said, who's for Azan and Nicole, and I just couldn't resist. I had to see what the results were. What do you guys, it was 50-50.
Which makes
Wow.
sense. I mean, people love this couple. We love them, we hate them,
Yep.
so I'm okay with it.
I hope they stay together.
Who knows? Moving right along.
Woo, the two divas, the beauties. You guys, so, there's been some drama between Pao and Anfisa before, and if we see the preview for the tell-all,
Yes.
it's about to get crazy between the two. But they've been feuding a little bit on Twitter and Instagram. So a fan who was obviously Team Anfisa said they wanted to watch Anfisa knock out Pao at the upcoming tell-all. Well, Pao clapped back and she said, "Me too. I would like to see her try. Even though I wouldn't like to get into her street fighting level. I'm better than that." On Twitter.
Shade.
Damn. Well, and then
Shade.
Anfisa responded back on her Instagram because people were asking her questions and has asked how she felt about Pao's comments. And she said, "Honestly, I'm very disappointed because I thought we all should support each other as fellow cast members. And we are all in the same boat. Maybe them drinking behind the scenes made them act that way.
Tea.
I don't know," she responded. And then she threw a little shade. They have to try to stay relevant and deflect from their own problems, I assume.
Ooh.
Battle amongst the couple. So
It's going to be good.
we can't wait to see
We can't.
what happens
Let's
next
move
week.
forward because there are a few more images we want to get through before we get out of here.
That was the tweet. Yeah.
David and Annie.
So David posted this on his Instagram, and I just couldn't resist because he says, "Wow, it's hard to believe it's been a year. I need to get back to Asia. I was a bit thinner. Hashtag 90 Day Fiancé.
A lot of it.
You need to get back there for what's that?
Hashtag deadbeat.
Hashtag deadbeat for real.
Right.
That should be in there
Maybe
for sure.
he'll be more successful in Thailand.
Maybe. They
Maybe.
need to do something.
Something. Just
Cost
gotta
of living's
give.
cheaper, that's for sure.
Cost of
Especially when you
living
have
is
no
cheaper.
job.
Damn.
You can live freely.
Okay.
And then he also posted this with his daughter, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Out to an awesome dinner with Ashley, Annie, and Aubrey. And, he needs to mend his family bonding. So I thought that was a nice little...
He's been putting an honest effort forward and just trying to.
Well, because he has no
Definitely.
job. Well, he didn't have a job, so he had
Which
a lot of
is-
free
He
time.
has no choice
I
and
think
no
he's
money.
trying. I think he's trying.
Okay, well,
Oh, the poll.
we've got some more news and gossip. We'll bring next week because we are just about out of time. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Nope. 'Cause it's a different photo. So.
Okay, so
Okay.
we've got time. Great.
Okay,
Great.
so I wanted to do this one just because it was breast cancer awareness. She was doing it. So,
Yeah.
ladies, check your
Molly.
breasts. I'm only posting this as a reminder to all of you that breast cancer awareness should not only be confined to October. Prevention leads to cure.
Yeah.
I love Molly. She has such a good heart.
Yeah,
you
for
can
you
just tell.
guys
See it on
listening,
screen.
this is Molly on her Instagram. She did a post. Like I said, she's so sociable. You know, she's doing her thing.
Yeah.
But I am concerned with like her like spiritual well-being.
Well-being.
Yeah, the healing process.
Right. Next up, Paul.
And then, so I found this one online too, and we saw when she shot this calendar. And guys, this calendar is $50, and
Oh, wow.
it's actually $70 if you want her to sign it for you.
Ooh.
Make
your
that
money,
money,
girl.
honey.
Get it?
Make that money.
Yes.
And then last up, we had Chantel.
Yeah, Chantel, you know, she really doesn't have that much news, but she made it to 100,000 followers. She said, I really appreciate the kind words of encouragement that the majority of you offer.
Majority.
I won't block the rest of you so you can keep peeking.
Damn.
Honestly, she'll try to respond to as many of the comments as she can, so it's actually really fun being on her Instagram. So
Yeah.
yeah, check
Yeah.
that out.
Yeah, listen, and social media is all about trolling through
Yep.
comments.
Yeah.
That's where you really
good
get
stuff.
the
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
And we love that they're so active on it.
I
And
mean-
all the fans, you guys are great
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
social media.
yeah,
We love
it's
reading your
always
comments.
such a great time.
memes.
Let's jump into some quick predictions just because we did see previews for the tell-all.
Now, your AfterBuzz
I was like
TV.
super surprised that the cast is being like so combative with one another. People are getting out their seats, they're cursing each other out, they have opinions and thoughts on each other's storylines. So tell-alls are always explosive.
Yes.
Right? And I'm left like, I just want to know if there's going to be another fight.
Yeah, because before the other, couples from previous seasons, they seemed like they all liked each other. They hung out. Now it's like drama between.
They would throw a little shade, but barely,
do,
just
yeah.
a little something, something.
I want to know. But any standout predictions that you guys have?
I don't know if Anfisa and Pal will actually like throw blows.
I don't know.
We saw her get
Yeah,
up.
when
super
she's
close.
like,
It'll come
stay
super
in your
close.
lane, it was like,
Yeah, her mouth
But-
is so reckless. It's
Yeah.
so American.
They're like the battle of the Instagram hotties.
But do you think they'll actually get physical?
I
think
don't
so.
know if they will, but it was interesting seeing George try to get up and defend Anfisa. Like, don't talk to my
my
wife
wife
like
that
that.
way. I was
Oh.
shocked.
All of a sudden,
Right.
Where'd you come from?
Yeah. Because the last tell-all, you were definitely not that.
I
that
guess
guy.
we'll see.
That
Are there
was-
any like ultimate predictions that you guys have?
I think we're gonna find out that George is the dad,
Baby daddy.
baby daddy.
If that's the case, then we need to be finding out that Anfisa is walking away.
Okay.
And man, we want to find their careers out. Like, what is everyone or in their past careers? Webcam girls, what y'all doing?
Yeah.
do we care at this point? They're living
I
their-
do. I still do. I'm still holding on to that.
Right. Well, you may be able to find out for us, Stacey. You are doing your
Yeah.
true digging. I can't wait to talk more about it. But for now, we are out of time. The tell all is next week. Can't wait. It's a two-parter, so we'll be able to cover both. We'll meet you guys here next Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Well, yeah. Well,
Tentatively,
That's tentative. We're
We're
gonna
working
keep-
it out because we do have some ultimate surprises. So we'll be sure to put the information in YouTube, on Twitter, all of that. Go ahead,
yeah, we're
Stacey.
gonna have some special guests come in. Guys, you have to tune in, especially in the live chat. We're so excited because
It's
we're
gonna be
all
some
super fans.
explosive. Be
join.
sure to follow us all because that way you can stay connected with the time and place we'll be. I'm Keith Andre and I'm all over social media at Keith_Andre.
Guys, I missed you. I'm Linda So Girly all across social media. I'm glad to wrap this part up and hit me up if you guys have any news and gossip.
Yes, and I'm Alex Bowers. You can find me on social media at Hey Alex Bowers, and also check me out on Queen of the South Thursdays
Hey
at
now.
2 o'clock.
Yes. Yeah, guys, I do the Florida Bama reality show from MTV on Mondays at 8 o'clock too, so you guys can check me out there. And I'm Stacey Olives. You can follow me all over social media at Stacey Olives. Make sure you guys tune in next week. It's gonna
explosive.
It's a doozy.
so much fun.
It's a doozy.
We'll
Yeah.
see you later.
Bye, guys.
90-day fiance party.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.